What's going on, everybody? Jerry here at 3DHP. It's time for more CNC work, and I'm out in the shop today. And if you ever thought about getting into CNC work and doing any engraving or inlays on wood, but you didn't want to spend a ton of money, you just want to dabble with it and see if you liked it, and then maybe move on, well, this video is for you. So right after this, we'll get into it, because today we have the Jimitsu 3018 Prober V2 CNC router. And here we go. Welcome back, everybody, and here we go. Let's I'm going to do a close-up in a minute, and let's get this unboxed and see what we got in the package. Get on my trusty unboxing knife. Alrighty. Okay, we got paperwork and instructions. And looks like a possible bit guide for recommended sizes. Got a little case here of all the supplies to put everything together. Nuts and bolts and wires and probe and wrenches. That's my dog out back barking. Power supply, power brick, excuse me. Nice little Phillips screwdriver. Gantry looks nice. Another piece in here, let me get it out. Oh, it looks like plastic trim, I guess, to cover up wires that run along the extrusion. Air tubing, looks like air tubing. Oh no, that's that plastic. When you have wires, that plastic stuff you wrap around the wires, keep it all together. Can't think what it's called. Some more connectors. Controller box. We'll get close-ups on all this when we get it all hooked up. A little spindle to call it. I believe that's only for 1/8 inch bits. Two pieces of acrylic for the sides. It says 3018 Prober on it. We'll have to peel off the protective covering there. And always look at your foam on both sides. You never know, you might miss something. Everybody's done it one time or another. Small set of bits. And here's the bottom of the machine, the gantry. We got the other half of the power cable there. USB, go to your PC. Another power connector. And it looks like that's everything in the box. So, take it. Alrighty, I've got it all put together, so let's take a look and see what we got. The limit switches were not pre-installed, and all the wires were not covered in their sheathing, so I had to do that on some of it. This particular type of 3018 does not have an offline controller, so you need to be plugged into your PC. Kind of take a peek at what we got here. And then I got hold downs right here, metal hold downs. I usually do blue tape and super glue. Usually works best for me. Got some sample bits here. Now, offline controller, you can buy them depending on which model you buy. Kind of like this Comgro here had an offline controller, which I never used it. I always tethered to my PC. But we can take a look at what we got. And this will be the first 3018 that I've had that the bed moves back and forth. Rather than a gantry moving, the gantry is fixed on this one. Goes left to right, and the bed comes forward and back. So that'll be pretty cool to try out. So now you need to take the USB stick right here, jump over to your computer. If you've never had a CNC or laser installed before, you'll need to install the serial driver, the CH340 on your computer, and then we'll be good to go from there. And then we'll load up Candle. We'll do a test file, and then I'll go into Carveco Maker that this came with for a 3-month free trial, and I'll, create something and go from there. But yeah, it looks pretty cool. Nice little machine. And then I have my other Gemitsu 4040 Pro back there. And once I get done reviewing this, doing a video or two on it, then I will jump over here to the Gemitsu Prover XL4030 V2. And I'll be having videos out on that soon. But like I say, it's very small, very portable. If you're just getting into the CNC world, you're not sure whether you're going to like it or not, you might want to try this out and see what you think and do some very small projects and, go from there. So let's jump into Windows, get everything set up, and we'll get going, moving forward. And all the NEMA motors here have cranks on them so you can manually adjust things, to get things to fine tune it, get it just right. It's a very nice feature. We got up and down here, left and right. And then for the bed, you can simply crank it here that way you can fine tune it and adjust it where you want it. That's a nice feature, having those knobs on there. So that's very cool. And then we got a very colorful book here when you go to install everything and explains everything in detail. And then we have a 2-sided chart for different bits, speeds, and feeds from Gemitsu. Same smart Gemitsu. I'll probably hang that up possibly, I don't know. Anyway, let's get going. Okay, I've got a little bit of jet noise outside because I live near Dallas Air Force Base, but let me go ahead and home it. I just turned on the power. I've got Candle opened up. And when we hit home, you can hear how quiet or noisy it is, but the spindle will not be running, obviously. Okay, that's home, 0, 0. Fire up the spindle. And the spindle's working fine. So now we're ready to jump in and let's engrave something. Okay, a couple things I wanted to show you real quick on the USB stick that comes with the machine. It will have a driver right here. You click on driver, it opens it up, and it explains how to install the CH340 driver in your computer. If you've already have a CNC or lasers, this will already be installed. But the PDF, it shows you very quickly what to do, how to install it, and it's very simple to understand. And closing this screen to go back to where we were at. Let me go up one. Okay, software to operate the CNC. It will have Universal G-Code Sender, UGS, which I love it, or we'll have Candle, which also works very well. And that simply installs on your computer, and it's very simple to use to control it. So if you use Carveco Maker or some program to design a file, you'll put it on a USB stick or you'll put it on your computer. You'll open up Candle or Universal G-Code Sender. You'll drop that file in, and that's what you will use to engrave or cut something out in your machine. There's some test files here. There's 3 test files. I'll be running either 1 or 2, if not all 3 of these. They're .nc files. And the paperwork, the PDF for installing everything is right here. Open that up, and here's a booklet. Basically what I was going by. It shows all the parts, everything it comes with. And you can also get a laser. If you choose to run a laser on this, you can. There is other options. If you want an offline controller, you can do that. Here's all the dimensions. Top to bottom is 301 millimeters tall, 353 millimeters deep, and 425 millimeters wide. And it just goes through and it explains everything that I did, and which I time-lapsed it and sped it up real fast so you wouldn't be bored forever. And yes, it does have an emergency stop button right there on the right side. I forgot to mention it in the video, but on the right side it does have an emergency stop button. And when you install that, if you turn on the machine and nothing is working, turn that and check it and make sure it's popped out. Because quite often somebody might bump it, have it pushed in, and they're wondering, why won't my machine turn on? But yeah, that's usually the cause right there. But then on the controller, you see in the bottom right there, we've got a big red button. That's how you turn it on and turn the machine off. And I've got it tethered on like a 20-foot USB line going over to my computer. I'll just scroll through these. Anything here you might want to look at more, just pause the video to check it out. But yeah. And the version that I had to install, like I said, the limit switches, and the wiring didn't have the sheathing over top of it, but it does come with plastic sheathing. It's like sliced. You kind of, like an orange peel, you wrap it around it. And there is running candle right there with the logo for SaneSmart that I'll be doing here in a minute on the CNC. And it talks about the probe. Very simple, very easy to use. And I believe that it comes with a trial of Carbco Maker for 3 months or a year, depending on what option you pick. But if not, you can get Carbco Maker. I believe it's free for a month, but I'm pretty sure the 3 months free subscription is included. And let's jump over here to, let's see, go to their website. Okay, here's SaneSmart's website, sanesmart.com. They have an option here for the machine only, which I have, or the machine with offline controller, which is right there, which is a little more money. And my dog is barking outside. Let's just kind of scroll down here and take a peek at some of these pictures. And I do not have the laser for this, but I do have other lasers in the house, just not set up to work on my CNC. And here's some other content creators that have done different videos on it. And they're on their website if you want to go check them out. Here's a comparison between different machines that they have. And some reviews. And then jumping over here on Amazon, which will be an affiliate link down below if you choose to buy through my affiliate link. Here's some different pictures of the machine. But yeah, a little more information for you. Hopefully that'll help you out or help you make a decision on what you may or may not want to do. But it's very well built. Has a very small spindle. It's good for small jobs. Wood, bamboo, acrylic, plastic, PVC, ABS, PCBs, brass, and resin. And looks like a piece of aluminum on there now, which it may do if you go very slow and very carefully, because bits do break easily. So we're going to grab some files, get loaded up, and we're going to get going. Okay, I was just doing some testing, and I was using some real thin material I had stained. And yeah, I blue taped it. I had it stuck down. I was ready to go. Put the bit in. I wound up dropping the spindle a little bit so I wouldn't cover up the vents. and I dropped the bit down and I still couldn't reach my material. So I need to put either a little spoil board on here so that I can properly cut it, or just work with some thicker material. So I'm going to go with some thicker material for now, but then I'll probably wind up putting a little spoil board on it. Besides, when you cut through your material just to the hair, if you should ever do that, you don't want to break your bit when you hit the metal. So I have to put a little spoil board on it, or something like a 1/4 inch thick would be perfectly fine, and have that blue tape down. Basically use the blue tape and the glue method, which I'm going to show you right now. So what I do, that 2P10 is what I'm currently using. I'll put a little bit of super glue. Let's see, come out of there. A little bit of super glue on one side. Now I'll take my spray activator, spray the other side. And once you line it up and stick it, in like 2 seconds it's done. It's down to stay. It's down for the count. Line it up on that front edge. Give it a nice press. Takes like 2 to 3 seconds. And boom, you're good to go. When you're done with your work, take a spatula, you simply pop it loose, pull off the blue tape, you're ready for the next job. But it definitely needs a spoil board on it. So I'd rather bring this spindle back up a hair where it's got the flange on the inside, have it flush with the top rather than being sunk a little bit lower like that. So now we're ready to get started on the next project. So let me get my XYZ home and we'll get going. And I'm not going to use a probe. I'm going to use a piece of paper. I'll bring a bit down, get it to barely drag. That's the fastest and easiest way I like to do it. And we'll get going in just a second. Okay, those all got done. And I had some chip out right here and right here. I forgot to zero out my X, Y, and my Z in candle before I started, therefore it dug in. And then I went up here and I done the spiral. The spiral should have been 1 pass and stop, but for some unknown reason, I let it run 4 passes. It still hadn't finished, so I had to abort the job. When they sliced this with SainSmart, I don't know how many passes they had it set up for, but it kept rerunning the job. That's why it's starting to look kind of tore up and dug in. Then I took my little brush here and I brushed it off. Then I got the wheel, was done in 1 pass, and that came out perfectly fine. But like I say, you need a little spoil board on top of this. Unless you're just going to be doing engraving on something and it's going to be fairly tall, you won't have to drop your spindle down so much and leave the bit lower than normal. So this material is taller. I need to pop this spindle back up to where it's at, but you never ever want to cover up the vents. It needs to get air in there to circulate to keep the spindle cool. So, and with that being said, yeah, I've done a pretty good job. Let me take the camera off of the tripod here. Kind of get you a close-up here. And see, you got the little bitty SainSmart there. The wheel came out good. And then, you know, there in the back, it just kept going around and around and around. I kind of chewed it up because it ran too many passes. It should have just been 1 pass. But it's a cool little machine, working good. Well, I guess that's going to wrap up this video. As far as for different software that you can use to design programs or get free files or, you know, anything you want to use, there's Carbco Maker. I believe this comes with a 3-month free subscription to Carbco Maker. It's normally, I think, like $15 a month. There's Easel. I used to use Easel and pay monthly. I believe it's like $25 a month if you want to pay monthly. Easel is very easy to use for new users. We got Carbide 3D, Vectric software, Fusion 360, and at some point in the future, Lightburn software that I use for my laser will be coming out with software to control a CNC and design programs. So there's a lot of options out there. Yeah, cool little machine. Like I say, I need a little spoil board put on it. That way it'll give it a little more height unless you're engraving tall wood like I just kind of showed you. The test files here. It's a cool little machine. You can order it with an offline controller if you should choose to do so. That way you don't have to have it tethered to your PC. And yeah, it's a nice little machine. Next, you know, coming back here in next couple videos will be the Jamitsu Prober 4030 V2 CNC router. that I'll be working on next, and some more videos that are upcoming. I'll probably order another Makita router and put on them, because I have the SaneSmart 4040 Pro behind me with a Makita router on it, and I hate to have to strip it off that machine to put it on the next one that I'm testing and jump it around. So there's a good chance I'll just buy another Makita router for it. They're pretty reasonable over on Amazon. And thank you to all my channel subscribers. I really appreciate each and every one of you. And on YouTube, I'm up to, I don't know, 5,800 subscribers right now. Subscribing is free if you would like to do that. Comment on the video, give me a thumbs up. It helps out the YouTube algorithm and helps to grow my channel. I've been doing this for a very long time with different types of hobbies that I have. That's 3D printing, let's see, working with lasers. I got a fiber laser recently. I do resin printing. I do a little bit of painting. And you know, and then CNC stuff. I do a little bit of anything and everything. So please like, subscribe, and share. And until the next video, everybody have an awesome day, and I really appreciate it. Later.